Yo, Internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of The Complain Train. And today, well, we have some gaming news to talk about. And I know that this is some late ass shit, but let's talk about it anyway. So, the Nintendo Switch has come out. It's a it's a $299 system, and which is a good selling point. They have 6 games which are actually looking pretty amazing, and they have a lot of multiplats actually coming out. And they do have a pretty good library. So, what was the problem with their press conference that actually kind of which didn't bring in hype, but necessarily made people feel like that they weren't listening to them? And for the most part, the online thing of that being paid right now, that was a problem. Not necessarily because, now you have this console which is supposed to be a $299 system, handheld docking station, handheld system, which that you can take wherever you want to play games on it. When you really think about it, it's that's the case. I can play Skyrim on it now, and I can play all their crazy games such as ARMS and Splatoon and stuff like that. It's really good. It's really good. The thing is, though, is that I don't necessarily really see too many people really bringing this thing outside with them, to picnics or the family events. Well, I can see some people doing it, but not an overall amount. But either way, let's talk about what actually was the problem with this press conference. And if I can pinpoint a thing right off the top of my head, it was the Wii U itself, the Nintendo Switch itself, and also them talking about that goddamn gamepad and those controllers. And in so many ways, it was actually cool to see them take their whole thing of all the controllers, all the stuff in which that was innovated and that they've done first. And to be fair, basically what they boiled down their conversation to. We took a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, and we just added a camera to it, shrunk it just a little bit, and then we did something with it. It's basically what they said, because with this brand new console, they're still talking about motion controls, they're still talking about motion cameras and sensories and all the rest of that other stuff, and they want this super HD thing in which you can feel stuff getting heavier in one of the controllers. I don't know what that's supposed to necessarily do, but I'm pretty sure that in some way, shape, or form, it can help people work out maybe, or make games way more immersive. I'm hoping for the immersive route, but that's difficult to say. Moving on, though, we have another thing that we have to talk about, which is their games. Now, of course, Legend of Zelda is coming out. Of course, Mario Odyssey looked amazing. ARMS was okay. 1-2 Switch, that's got to grow on you. Splatoon update, the Skyrim thing, all that was A1. And there could be some games in the middle in which that I'm kind of forgetting about. But if you really think about it, think about the games in which that they're trying to push, and them having this whole backlog of third-party games which that we already own, we already played. I mean, this is that Batman Arkham Knight. This is the Batman Arkham City thing all over again, or like the Batman Arkham Asylum argument all over again with the Wii U, which is, why in the world should we be excited over a game which that we already have? I have Skyrim on my PC, working perfectly fine. And the question is why in the world would I buy this console for that one game? Or better yet, why in the world would I buy this console for any of their third-party games? Now, again, it's nice to have them, but at the same time, it's Nintendo, you have by far a pretty powerful collection of first-party games. They have the Metroids, they have the Donkey Kongs, every so often, and we keep having this conversation. I don't know why they don't have as many console games coming out for their console, or give you all these exclusive reasons to buy their games. Because again, with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, they're actually doing something serious with that game, of actually starting, well, I'm not necessarily sure where that one starts off at, but they're actually doing some story with that one. That one actually has voice acting in it, so they're doing something serious with it. But give or take with the games, what they're trying to do, it's gonna be a difficult sell. 1, 2, 3. Finally, they have what we want to call, what should we call it? They really had a very crazy presentation. I mean, the presentation wasn't necessarily bad, but when you really think about it, it's like, what were they doing with their presentation that actually made you interested in half of the game? Especially since like half of their announcers would actually get up on stage and sort of speak about their games, with the exception of maybe Shin Megami Tensei 5, which I think that is 5. That one was actually looking really, really, really good. And of course, they have the Dragon Quest games coming, and half the games on the system are region locked, so that's also something. But then you think about it, and it's like, well, that's it. That's all you have. You have a brand new system, which people already know the specs for, and that they've been asking for 4 gigabytes of RAM. So that's all we got. And pretty much we only have 6 or 7 or 8 games of which that people could be interested in, and they are now up on current. They are now on current standing of taking all the current third-party games and putting them on their console. And finally, I keep forgetting my final point, but well, now they finally have something, I guess. Oh, also, and they have online. They are planning on throwing online on this thing, and that with the online, they're gonna charge you for it. Something in which I believe that they've never done before. Now, I can't say that the brand new president that he has it wrong, but at the same time, I'm kind of on the fence, because by this point, the only real thing that they could have done was just tamper with the Wii U a little bit more, or fix that console and then try and make that one look a little bit better. Because again, if they would have I want to say if they would have did what Xbox is doing right now with a Scorpio, and just updated their fucking console and made it like a modern day system so people can actually program shit for it, I think that actually would have worked out a little bit better than actually trying to make a brand new handheld console and try and like sell this and shell out this brand new shovelware, or this brand new like supposedly like current gen console. That shit's kind of difficult to do, especially since when you kind of have this whole looming ghost hanging over you now of you basically doing what fucking Sega did because they couldn't make ends meet. So that's something to look out for in the future. Now, you know how I feel about this. I think it's okay. I don't think it's terrible. I'm never gonna buy. I can't say never. I'm not going to buy one. But if they really want this thing to sell, they got to try really fucking hard. And they're already kind of fucking up already, because Mario Odyssey isn't a Mario launch title. Sorry, my ideas were everywhere, but thank you for watching the Complain Train. You have reached your stop. I'm out. So Ruby has done it again, where that not only did they mix a 7.5 episode in with this entire thing, they actually did their thing and actually like threw like a whole story there too. So this episode kind of had a major info dump in it, mostly because it focused more on Crow, telling them the history of not necessarily the Silver Eyes per se, which I guess that it's just safe to assume that that's a separate power from the maid.